we want to get into a little bit about what a lobby push is. So now remember, our mission of True North is to create environments where men can hear from God. And this often starts at a lobby push. So a lobby push is where you're going to see the table set up like this in the lobby of your local church. So this is a way to actually get the name, the awareness of True North out to people in the lobby of your local church. So this is a really powerful time. There is so many, and several of you probably there right now, your first introduction to True North, how you first came to a base camp or heard about it, was a guy in a lobby inviting you. So guys, please don't underestimate the power and the significance of what you can have of creating an environment where men can hear from God. So let's get in a little bit here. So lobby push, what you're gonna see is we're gonna have a video rolling of Basecamp to kind of grab people's attention. We'll have a laptop set up, our Basecamp promo video, our True North promo video, just an eye-catching thing so people can look at it and be drawn to the table. We'll have some of the True North the water bottles, the cups, the bags, things once again, just so they begin to identify with the True North triangle and the True North logo. But this right here, these two things right here is where the magic happens, okay? These invite cards, these are gold. This is where you just can easily walk up to a guy, hand him a card, and begin a conversation. We're going to show you what that looks like here in just a minute. And after you have a conversation with the guy and begin to talk with him, have you ever heard about True North? Let me share my experience about Basecamp. Then you're going to get them to come over and say, here's what we want to do. We want to get your information. We want to get your name, contact information, email, etc. We're not going to sell it. Let them know we don't sell their information. We don't spam it. This is just for us to then send them information about some of our upcoming events. So make it a real low key so you don't try to scare someone off. We're not going to be signing them up on a million mailing lists. Let the guys know that, because once a guy signs up with us, then the impetus is on us to then send information to them. If all we do is leave them with True North, then the onus is on them, and we'd much rather have it on us. So please make sure that we can get them to sign up, but do not forget the meaningful conversations. This is a time, once again, just signing up is important, but creating that environment where men can hear from God is much more important. So have some meaningful conversations, get in with guys, and I promise you God's gonna show up every time. Let's also talk about the timing of the lobby pushes. So I'm gonna use Life Church as an example, but this really will apply to any church and your local church as well, especially if there's multiple service times. So if you're going to cover, in, let's say, a 10 a.m. and an 11:30 service, we ask that you get there 30 minutes ahead of time. So for the 10 o'clock, you will actually arrive at 9:30. The advantage of that is you'll catch the people coming out of the 8:30 service. That's one transition. Then going into the 10 a.m. service, that's two transitions. You then can catch a remainder of people leaving the 10 o'clock service, that's three transitions. And then coming into the 11:30 service, that's four transitions. So for a 2-hour time commitment that you can work a lobby push, you actually can catch men coming in and out of 3 different services, 4 different transitions. So this is a high impact time for a low time commitment. Hey, how are you doing? Trey Dixon with True North Ministries. Have you ever heard of True North before? Really? Well, let me tell you a little bit about True North. We are the largest local missions partner with Life Church, and we focus purely on men and men's ministry. So guys, let me step out for this for a second. This, once again, we're talking about Life Church, but this can apply to your own church. So if you're at Faith Church, if you're at First Baptist, if you're wherever, apply the same thing. Just come in and go, yeah, we're partnering with this church, with XYZ Church, helping them with some of their men and their men's ministry. So take this concept and personalize it to you in your church. So what you want to do is you just want to step in with the guy, introduce yourself, get his name, hey, what's your name? And then share a little bit about True North. Feel free, and once again, we're speaking about doing some Life Church lobby pushes here. Feel free to tell them, say, we are the largest local missions partner of True North, and we focus solely on men and men's ministry. Okay, so kind of engage, let them know who we are right off the bat, and that way kind of gives them an idea of what the conversation is going to be. Then go into Basecamp and talk about Basecamp and something similar to this. Go, have you ever heard of Basecamp before? No? man, let me tell you about it. This was a life-changing event for me. Now, first of all, it's a whole lot of fun. We shoot guns, paintball, zip line, high ropes, go-karts. It's a testosterone fest all weekend. But the time with God, it's absolutely life-changing. So guys, this is a chance for you to explain them. Give them the fun stuff, okay? Now be careful. Don't give them too much about base camp. I'm sure those of you know that have been, if someone told you everything up front, if you start getting into wounds and spiritual agreements, you start talking about we're going to ask you to unplug your cell phone, you're going to scare most guys off, okay? They're going to be like, as Eldridge says, that doesn't sound like heaven, that sounds like hell, okay? So make sure and keep that in mind. You want to try to hook guys in. That's going to be a fun time, but the time with God is powerful. They're at church, okay? So hopefully these are guys who believe in God, they know God, but look back to where you were pre-base camp. And for a lot of you, we were in some dark places, okay? And so the whole idea of just delving into a lot of our wounds and hurts and all these deep things of God, frankly, a lot of these guys aren't quite ready for that yet. So really hook them with a lot of the fun stuff. Let's shoot, let's do the paintball, zip line, high ropes, all of those kind of fun things, okay? Get them hooked in, get this conversation with them, and then just begin to ask them some things like, so, base camp sounds good. Let me ask you this. Are you in a men's group? Do you have a group of guys around you that you do life with? Once again, if these are guys that are attending Life Church, they're probably pretty familiar with life groups and the concept of it. But we like to use Band of Brothers or a group of men that you're being open, honest, and doing life with, okay? So begin to find those things out and ask them, man, if you're not, we'd love to help you find a group. If you are, this is an amazing event. Come to base camp and bring the guys from your life group with you. This is a great way to take those relationships even deeper and have a fun time doing it. Okay, so keep it light, keep it fun, but let them know that it's going to be a spiritually impactful weekend. All right, so then also remember, once you have these conversations, try to get that rapport, get their name, talk to them a little bit. But part of the goal is you want to make sure and get their information. We want to make sure and get them to sign up because we want to make sure and send them information about base camp, about SOGO, about the Rock, etc. So guys, hopefully this just gives you an idea of some of the conversations. You can take this at Life Church. You can take these same concepts and ideas and apply them at your own local church. This doesn't have to be just Life Church. Just put your church in it and the way that it works for you at your lobby, okay? But these are just some ideas and concepts that you can use. And men, don't forget, this right here that you're doing at a lobby push, you are creating an environment where men can hear from God.